Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 4 Pirates of the Caribbean films. The Curse of the Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, At World's End, and On Stranger Tides. Starting of course with the first one that came out, The Curse of the Black Pearl. This film was released in 2003 and I believe it was actually based on a ride at Disneyland. Strangely, but I know that's quite strange. But yeah, apparently it was actually based on a ride. I don't really know how that works, but yeah. Anyway, when this film came out, it was a really big success. It was a huge hit, and so many people really liked it. You know, it was a really popular film. I thought it was really good. It had a great story. It was exciting. But of course, it wouldn't have been the same without Johnny Depp. He was the main star of it, and he steals the show in all 4 Pirates of the Caribbean films. It just wouldn't be Pirates of the Caribbean without Johnny Depp playing Jack Sparrow. In 2006, we had Dead Man's Chest, the sequel to Curse of the Black Pearl. This one got rather mixed reactions. There were some who said it was really good, but there were others who seemed to really hate it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very good film. However, it is kind of confusing. And there is a bit too much in it for just one film, so I can sort of understand why people don't like it, but I really enjoyed it. Oh, sorry, I forgot to give the Curse of the Black Pearl a rating. I would personally rate it probably about 16 out of 20, this one. And this one I actually find comes really, really close. I thought it was a great film. It was exciting. There were actually some parts of it where, when I saw it in the cinema, I actually thought I liked it even more than the first one, Curse of the Black Pearl. But watching it at home, I think, no, it's not quite as good. This one I can watch quite a few times. This one is the kind of film I want to watch only occasionally, because it's such a heavy story and there's a lot to take in. So while not as good as the first one, it's still a great film. And I'd rate it a 15 out of 20. At the end of this film, it was very clear that there was going to be a second sequel, because you had everyone wanting to bring Jack Sparrow back from the dead. That leads us to the second sequel, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. Now, this is the one which seems to get a real big amount of hate. You know, it's like, it seems that so many people say it's absolute garbage. They say they really, really hate it. A lot of people do anyway. There are people who like it as well, but the majority seem to hate it, from what I've seen. However, I actually still even enjoyed this one. While it's definitely the weakest, it's definitely not as good as the first 2. And the story is really complicated, and there are stuff that don't really make sense in it. It doesn't really make sense in it. I still thought it was entertaining and quite enjoyable. While it's definitely not as good as the first 2. And I can understand why people hate this one. I really can. I give it a 14 out of 20. Not as good as the first 2, but still a good film, in my opinion. Then, in 2011, we had the 4th film, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. Now, a lot of people seem to like this one a lot more than at least At World's End. They say it was at least an improvement from At World's End. A lot of people even seem to say it's an improvement from Dead Man's Chest. However, I didn't feel that way. I watched it and I didn't really think that much of this one. You know, it's okay. It's kind of enjoyable in bits, but it's not. It's just nothing particularly special. It just feels like, just an average film. It is less confusing than Pirates of the Caribbean 2 and 3, but it still hasn't got as special. It hasn't got as interesting elements to it, in my opinion. When I saw it, I was kind of just like, yeah, it was okay, I guess. The main problem I have with it is that it feels really unnecessary. The third one, I feel like it would have been better just to keep it as a trilogy. To have just for there to be 3 films, and the third one would have concluded it quite well. It would have been a very good close to the trilogy. This one kind of feels a bit unnecessary. And the villain of this one, Blackbeard, I find to be kind of boring. Really, there's nothing. He's not like Davy Jones and Captain Barbossa, which I think are much more interesting characters. This one, he's just not an interesting character. So I know that some people say this was an improvement from the last 2 of the original trilogy, but I disagree with that. And I've heard that there's going to be a Pirates of the Caribbean 5 coming out next year, I believe. And I really do hope that that one will be good after this average 4th film. I mean, I don't hate this film or anything, but I just don't find anything particularly special about it. The last time I watched it, I did enjoy it a bit more than I usually do. It was kind of... And there were bits of it were enjoyable. Overall, I'd give it a 12 out of 20. So, probably about 2 points above average, but nothing particularly special. I will say, though, that Johnny Depp was great in this one, as he is in all of them. Also, in this one, I feel like there aren't really... Like, in the others, like, there's a few kind of people like Jack Sparrow who are kind of like neither good nor bad, really. They're kind of goody baddies. And then there's people like Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann who are, proper goody, who are like proper goodies. In this one, except for maybe what's his name? Hang on. Except for Philip. Philip's may be a goody, but all the others are actually kind of like Jack's. Well, no, sorry. They're either like Jack Sparrow, where they're kind of, kind of good, or you could see them as good or bad, or they're just plain evil, When it comes to like the fighting scene at the end, you almost don't really care who lives or dies. As long as Jack Sparrow lives, they can all. You don't really care. And I'll say that definitely check out the first one. There's a good chance you probably like that. The others, you might like, you might not. Simple as that. Some people like them, some people hate. The Outworld's End has a lot of people hating them. The other 2 are kind of mixed. So definitely check out the first one. I can't say what you'll think of the others. Obviously, I can't say what you'll think of the first one either, but there's a higher chance you like that one. But the others get rather mixed reactions. Well, thank you so much for watching. Hope you'll have a wonderful day. Goodbye for now.